Hey, what is up, guys and gals? Welcome to Region Zen. I am the host of the channel, Zen Writer, and in this episode, we're looking at the new, well, it's about a year old now, but it's new to me anyway, Planetbase by Mad Ruga Studios. Today, we're going to look at the gameplay and mechanics of the game and cover all the basics and what a good build order is. I'm also going to show you a cool layout I came up with that works really well. It takes a little bit to get it there, but it is well worth it if you are going for over 300 colonists trying to hit those milestones. Now, if you haven't played this game before, the gist of the game is simple. You land on a foreign planet and you have to colonize it. It's a city builder. But what makes it a little bit more difficult is the fact that it's a foreign planet. There's no food, there's no oxygen. If you run out of those things, you're fucked. You die. It's game over. You're starting over. The game has 3 different modes. There's a tutorial mode to guide you through how the game works. There is the challenges. There's 4 different scenarios where you have to hit certain objectives. And of course, my favorite, sandbox mode. Sandbox mode has 4 planets. There's the Class D desert planet, Mars-like planet, which we'll be playing today. There is a frozen Hoth or Europa type planet, the moon of Jupiter. There's this moon-like planet that has, when you play at Saturn in the background, so I'm going to call it a moon of Saturn. And this bad boy on the end, the Suicide Planet, is also, I believe, a moon of Saturn Titan. It's quite difficult. We'll play it in the future episode, and you'll see what I mean. But for now, let's go in here. Class D, medium-sized desert planet with a thick CO2 atmosphere, which partially protects it from meteors and solar flares. Like, fuck, we won't have to worry about those things. The game's difficult enough without having to worry about solar flares. They're on the harder levels. You'll see what I mean later. On this planet, we have lots of sunlight, so our solar panels will operate at full capacity. Our atmosphere density is high, so our wind turbines are going to work without any problems. We don't have to worry about sandstorms and meteors, so we'll watch out for those. And now the game gives us the pleasure of naming our base. We'll go ahead and do that. U.S. Mars Base 1A. Why 1A, you ask? Well, the government and NASA seems to like to overly complicate things at times, so we will stick with that tradition. Now we have to figure out somewhere to land our craft. So let's try and find an open area. I kind of like the looks of right in here. Kind of like this area looking right here. We'll go right in the middle of it. And we'll hop into it. First thing you're going to notice about this game, if you haven't played it before, is that it is absolutely gorgeous. The developers just did an amazing job on this environment. Now this game is pretty unforgiving, so you need to concentrate on getting all the essentials set up as quickly as you can when we first start off here. So we're just going to jump right into it. We're not going to spend a lot of time talking about the game. Now, as our guys get off the craft here, they're wearing different uniforms. Blue represent our workers. Green represent our biologists who will grow our food. Yellow is our engineer who will design stuff and work the complex machines. Red is our medic. And then we have 2 bots. We have a carrier bot, CR1, and we have our constructor bot, whose creator didn't really seem to like him when he decided a name, and we will leave it at that. Alright, next we need to survey the area and see what we got. See where... Ooh, I like the area. This is a nice big open area where we can build. We could go over here too later if we needed. Alright. So let's get cracking. The first thing we need is some power. So we'll build a giant solar panel right here in the corner. And we need to gather that power that the solar panel gets with a power collector. Big capacitor, drop it right there. Connect them up. And lastly, because we are humans, we need some water. And we will build a big one of these. And we'll build a big triangle. Connect them up. Now the triangle, the reason I like this is it creates redundancy. If a meteor strikes right there, we're still connected by these two. If a meteor strikes right here, we're still connected by these two. as they get cracking on that and moving the supplies over, we'll readjust the camera a little bit. We're going to build a base pad to come out about here so we can get by the ship. Right on those rocks. I didn't like those rocks. Now we can start working on our base. First thing we need is an entrance. So we'll build an airlock right there. Connect it up. And the last thing we need for our general initial survival is an oxygen generator. Now we're going to be building off this way, so we need to keep that in mind and build it up that way. Perfect. Now we'll just kind of let them do their thing and get everything built. We want these up first because we need to get some power collected before nighttime comes. Actually, we could probably get our wind turbine. We'll bring it over here. There we go. I'm thinking in this episode we're going to take the base up to around self-sufficiency. So we're going to need to make sure we have food and water and the tools we need to build the bioplastic and the metal. We're also, because we have our guys working in the mine, we need to get a sick bay set up so in case guys get injured, the medic can heal them. And to support that, we'll need a laboratory to create the medical kits. That's what I consider self-sufficiency. I don't think the game considers that self-sufficiency. I think they just consider bioplastic and metal. But if you ask me, the medical kits, if you can't heal your people, what kind of self-sufficiency is that? Know what I'm saying? Alright, so now everything's kind of coming up. Still have a little bit of time. Power collector's up. CO2 generator's up. Airlock's up. Water's up. Connections almost up. Bam. Now everybody's probably going to make a beeline into here to get more oxygen because they're wearing tanks right now. And those are probably close to running out, as you can see. About halfway done. The next immediate need we're going to have once they get this built is these guys are going to need some water. To actually, well, we got the water coming in, but we need a way to consume the water and the food that we eventually create. So next we will build a canteen. We're going to build that right about here. Now this cool layout I was talking about, what we're going to end up doing is making a big hexagon. So we'll have a thing here, 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 and here. And then we'll have a big storage unit, a massive storage unit in the middle. Now we can't build the massive storage unit right. Oh, they're building this right away. We need to get them oxygen, or they're not gonna die. There we go. Some of them are going in. Now I was saying the massive storage. We can't get that right away because it's considered a technology we have to bring in on a trading ship. In order to get the trading ship, we need to build the landing pad. So what we do is we kind of build around it, and it's not as efficient as you could be, but once you get the massive storage up, everything runs so much smoother than if you just build shit at random and have things coming off of everywhere. It puts a little bit of order where you have the storage in the middle and everything connects to it, and it's just, you'll see what I mean. It's so much more efficient. It's worth the little bit of extra weight to get there. All right, now that we got everything going here, come on, get this built. Let's speed it up a little bit. Don't you wish you could do that in real life? I do. And like, if you're sitting with somebody that's boring as fuck, you can just hit the speed up button and get through it. All right, now that that's coming up, we need to get them a water fountain. Because that is, as we hop in here and look at them, that's going to be their next. I guess we're doing pretty good. They're doing all right on hydration. On these harder levels, you really have to be on your game and get this stuff set up. This game will punish you. I can't tell you how many times I had to restart the Class S. First time I played it, it's just insane. Alright, now we can build a water fountain. Bam. And we're not going to build anything else until they build that. Because I've run into the problem of them needing water, and you set them off to do something else, and they don't drink any water, they go do the other thing, and then they die. It's like, dude, don't be a fucking idiot. If you're thirsty, get something to drink before you do your job. I'm fine with that. I'm not going to bust your balls over that. Here he comes with the plastic to build the water fountain. And, of course, we'll just hurry up and get him in there. Alright, now that we got that built, we're going to we'll just finish this room off. Build a table, put in a food machine, we will put in a monitor or a video screen so we can cure their unhappiness, the blues, and a plant to help them with the blues. Alright, now we can start working on the base, the main structure of our base. We're going to need a mine to create the metals. So let's put that kind of close to the entrance. I think that's going to be too long of a walk. We'll put it over here. A little lettuce. Come on. And with that, we're going to need a processing plant. And we're going to build a big one, and we will bring it off this way. Actually, bring it off this way. We'll put it right there. Connect it up. Everybody's just working so hard for me. Food machine's up. Now, the next thing we should probably give them is a biodome. Now, what we need to do is we need to start planning here in advance for where our massive storage is going to be. Well, now we're going to put the storage out here. So what we do is we build a placeholder. And now everything has to be the same size when we do this. We always have to use large. Make sure everything you do is large, the same size. And we'll do this in a triangle. Now, we don't really have the resources at first to afford this storage. So we're just going to, like I said, use this as a placeholder. So we'll get it right at the point where we can connect it to both of them, like that. And then we will build our biodome in the large size, the same size, over here. And a triangle, and we will make the triangle again. Right there. Connect these up. And then we're going to delete this for the time being. And we'll put priority on that. So now what we've done is we've created the perfect angle. I'm not sure what the degrees is of this switch. I'm sure one of you will tell me in the comments. But we've got it set up just perfectly. Now each time we build something new, we will place that storage back and just use it as we go around and around and around. And eventually, when the time is right and we have some money, we will buy the tech to buy the massive and plop it right down there. Life is good. In fact, let's just speed them up. No need to fart around too much here. Now, everybody always worries about building a dorm right away. You see how they're all looking for Z's, they're all tired. I'm kind of an asshole. I'm a slave driver. I don't give a fuck about them. So what I like to do is, we need to recycle the ship to get more resources. What I like to do is just let them pass out on the floor And I usually build the dorm as one of the last things, believe it or not. I'm just... their comfort is not my highest priority. Ooh, meteors coming down in the background. You see that? I've actually had it where these guys are going out and taking stuff and a meteor crashed right down on one of my bots. Talk about a bad day. Alright, now our processing plant is up. So let's get a plastics machine and a metals machine. And our dome is set up. Actually, we can slow things down now. We'll build our connection. God, you gotta love the music in this game. I find myself humming this music all fucking day. Alright, now I like recipes for the food machine. I like to go with 1 tomato to start. 1 tomato, because we have 2 biologists. We can afford to do 2 wheats and 1 tomato. Now we'll make pasta in the machine. Those 2 should be able to hang with that. Fingers crossed. We'll speed it up until they get those made. How's our mine? Is it up? We don't want them actually mining yet, because we don't have a sick bay set up. I don't want them getting injured and then having to feed injured guys that aren't doing anything. It's like, I'd rather just take them behind the barn and put them down. But unfortunately, that's not possible. You're just stuck feeding them if they get injured and they become useless. Come on, build it. What do we need next? Let's build... Well, I think we got plenty of spares. Yeah, we do, but let's build a spares workshop next. And I'm going to build that off to the left. So we will put our storage down. Now we should get it, we need to get it right where it connects with all 3. There we go. We just double check connection, whoops, connection, perfect. And we will build our factory, large, and it's gonna go right. Come on, there we go, right there. Connect them up, double check, boom, perfect. You know, we kill that. So now we have our factory, we have our processing plant, we have our biodome. Why do you guys need water? See, everybody's passed out, they're sleeping. I love it. It's like, it was like a hard night of partying. Everybody's out. Alright. So let's work on our sick bay next. We're going to build that right off of here. We'll build the large one. The sick bays and the dorms are dead ends. You can't build off of those. So I like to plop these around the oxygen unit. I also like to put my robotics lab down here. I'm kind of OCD sometimes, and I like to have these tops. I like to have this top here, here, and here, and then one of them over here. We'll put the bar over here across from the canteen, and we will put the command center over here across from the processing plant. Then off of this side, once this all gets built, we'll bring another O2 generator here. This we'll do in the next episode. We will then start doing dorms and stuff as we expand our base. We're getting pretty close to self-sufficiency though. In fact, now that we got that so close, Oh, actually, look at that. We're short some metal. No problem. We'll just open up the mine. And look at that. Bam. Self-sufficiency, according to the game. Like I said, I don't consider that self-sufficiency until we have the sick bay and the lab up. But oh, that took forever to go through that. How much metal we need? 3 pieces? Oh, we still need to finish this off too. Well, we don't need to... Let's put priority on this. And let's just kick out some metal. Kick out some metals, motherfuckers. Make sure the biologists are keeping up on these. As long as things are good and you don't see yellow often, you're all right. You're keeping up. A biologist, I've noticed, one biologist is good for like 1.5 plants. If you have tomatoes, if you have a high yielding crop involved. Otherwise, not so much. Otherwise, like the high yield stuff, you kind of need 1 biologist per. Especially when you get into the genetically modified tomatoes, and I think it's onions as well. There we go. We're getting some ore. Converting it into metal. Building my stuff. This game is not like the ordinary city builders where you build a building and forget it. You really have to micromanage. Like sometimes I'll find myself, like for example, building extra things, like extra plants in here, just so I can recycle them and get the bioplastic later. Because these things will deteriorate as they stay outside. Because, you know, they're not inside. They're outdoors. Outdoors will fuck shit up. How's our metal coming? How's our ore coming? Got some more ore in there. Actually, you know what? We're going to put priority on this so they actually work on it. Give me some metal. There we go. Now they're working on some metals. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this up. We're starting to get a little bit long. What we'll do in the next episode, we will finish off these buildings and we will continue on the layout. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. And until the next time, stay out of trouble.